Welcome to the quick start tutorial to Valknut, an asymmetrical abstract game by Louis Blouet for 2 players ages 12 and up and plays around 10 to 15 minutes. In Valknut, players assume the role of warband leaders, trying to kill each other using asymmetrical factions in an ever-changing environment. On your turn, you place a scout card, move units to flank, and kill your opponent. Either get rid of all your opponent's units or be the player with the most victory points at the end of the game to be the winner. Alright, here's how the game is set up. First, shuffle the scout cards to form the deck. Take the top card and place it in the center of the playing area. This is the starting battleground. Next, reveal the next 3 cards to create the scout pool. Now each player will choose a warband to gather both their ambush cards and unit tokens. Each player will place up to 4 units on the starting battleground. The player who starts the game will be the one with the least number of units. There are 3 parts in each player's turn: placing a scout card, moving units, and killing units. When it's a player's turn, they first refill the available scout cards back up to 3. Then the player will take one of the 3 cards to place on the battleground adjacent to any other card. The player may flip the card if they wish. If the card contains a Valknut, then the player places an available unit on it. If the player likes, they may also return to the box a scout card from the ones available to use their warband's ambush card, which is used just like a scout card. Next, it's time to move units. The number of times a player gets to move is on the card they placed. These are called movement points. If a player places a card and could not place their unit, they get an extra movement for the turn. Movement points can be spent on either one or divided among any number of units. For each movement spent, the unit can move any number of horizontal or vertical spaces in one straight line. Movement is blocked by any obstacle, including any other units, mountains, rivers, and forests. Units that can't cross certain obstacles may not end its movement on it. After each movement, if an opponent has a unit flanked on opposite sides by the player's unit or any obstacle, then the unit has been killed. Here's an example. After a player's movement, their unit flanks an opponent's unit with 2 of their units. The opponent's unit is killed and returned to the opponent. Next movement, the player moves their unit here and flanks another unit against a mountain. That unit is also killed. Also note that when after the player has ended their turn, if any of their units are flanked at the beginning of their opponent's turn, their flanked unit is killed immediately. A player automatically wins when all of their opponent's units have been killed and there are none left on the battlegrounds. If the last scout card is drawn and the turn ends without a winner, both players count up victory points of their units remaining on the battleground. The player with the most points wins. If there happens to be a tie, then the player with the most maximum number of units on the battlegrounds is declared the winner. This concludes the quick start tutorial to Valknut. Come watch more videos on Valknut and learn about each of the warbands and their asymmetrical powers. The Cardboard Stacker likes to thank the designer for sponsoring this video. I'm Ferdinand the Cardboard Stacker, and I'm here to remind you to keep on stacking games.